Hey folks, so in this video, I'm going to introduce another category. It's pretty typical for system calls, and this is stuff for information maintenance, right? So that's our top thing over here. And so here what I have is I have a few screenshots, so let me go through them. Basically, these are examples of applications that need system calls that do these sort of information maintenance tasks. I'm not going to talk about specific calls, but rather I want to give you guys some actual examples. So these things here up on the screen are kind of very, very typical. So the first thing I have up here, right, this program is called Top, right? So this one over here. You can see I actually have a screenshot from Ubuntu. This is Top, okay? So this is basically a program that gets information about the system and presents it to the user. Hence, it has to use these, information maintenance, type system calls from the OS. So what this program is meant to do is basically show you a list of all the programs running on your computer. This is similar to, for example, doing Alt Control Delete on Windows and bringing up your task manager. Again, we just want to see everything that's out there. So let's take a look at this screenshot and see what's going on. So here basically I've just typed Top, right? So if I open terminal inside of Ubuntu or Linux in general, I type the word Top, I see something like this. And you can see here that I basically have some overall information about the system and then all the different programs that are running, right? So very useful things to know. So I can look and see, for example, this system that I'm running this on has been running continuously for 176 days, which is not bad. The server here that I'm actually displaying Top from is, well, I just already spoiled it a little bit. It's a server, right? So actually, one of the projects I work on is basically a server that basically provides a way to do analysis of data on protein sequences. And obviously, it's a server. It needs to be up all the time. Here, I've been up for 176 days. I think that's pretty good, right? 176 days of continuous service. Okay, only one user because it's just me. Nobody else knows the password to get into that system. So that's, as we would hope. If it says more than one user, I'm going to be very concerned. You can see, stuff that's running, right? I have 136 tasks running. How many of them are doing stuff versus how many of them are just hanging around. Various stats right about CPU usage. The reason, well, okay, here, just real quick, you can see it says CPU percent, right? So it says I have, 12.5% CPU use. That's actually because, and we'll be able to see it later on, this is sort of like a multi-core system, and only one core is busy, right? There's only one thing going on, only one program running. All right, and then some stats about the memory, of course, over here, right? My memory usage, my swap file usage. All right, second part of the screen is basically all the information about the processes that are running. And as you can see here, right, basically I have my user level process, right? So I am kind of permanently logged onto the system here. And basically my account is being used to run something, right? So this is actually a program over here, right? You can see these different columns, right? Of these, they have these different pieces of information, right? The ones on the left were like PID, which is process ID, then user is like the owner. This last one's command. It's like, what is the program that's running? You can see here, basically, there's a program called Mirror RPBS, which has been running, right, continuously for this very long time, right? So 350 hours. I don't know, okay. 14 days. You can see how fast I'm at math. So this one program has been running for 14 days, hence why that uptime needs to be really high. So you can just look through here and you can see all the different things that are running, right? So this program is running, init's kind of a thread that always exists. It belongs to the OS. Some of these are basically all just kind of low-level services. Actually, I think pretty much all of these are going to be low-level services. And you can kind of actually tell that too because of these PID numbers. The PID numbers generally show you like when a program was created or what order it was created in. They'll increase as your computer runs, as it creates new programs are running, new processes are running. It increases the PID that it gives to them. So the one's marked number 1 is the first one to run the system. One's marked 2 is the next one. 30 is the next, and so on and so forth. So you can kind of see things are running. And then the process that's currently taking up all that CPU time right over here, it has a really high number. Because that's kind of like a user program that was started, way later than the OS started, all of its internal, background tasks and stuff like that. All right, so this is a pretty typical example of a program that shows you some information about your computer. And obviously, all this information, right? The only place in your system that's going to know all this information is the OS, right? So if I want to write Top, I'm going to need to make a bunch of system calls, right? I'm going to need to ask the OS, how much memory is out there, how many CPUs are out there, right? Who's logged in, what programs are running, right? Those are all questions that only the OS can answer, right? So all these are going to be system calls. They're all going to be kind of this information maintenance type of system call. All right, as another example here, this is strace. This is on the left-hand side. strace is basically a tool that strace, we basically run it with another program. So I can't just run it by itself, I need to run it on something. So here what I've run it on is I've run it on basically a homework solution. So this is a homework assignment. Depending on the semester you take this class, you may or may not get this specific assignment. If you do get it, then I guess this is a little bit of a hint of how to do it. But I run this program called strace, and I'm running it on a specific executable. And what happens is strace is this program that will look at a program that's running and report all the system calls that are being made, right? So it's actually going to kind of stand between my program and my OS and just write down everything that's happening. This is very useful because it gives me kind of a way to figure out, what's going on. What is this program really doing versus what do I think it's doing? So let's see here. So I'm basically doing strace on this homework assignment. The homework assignment is to basically store a list of, well, the homework assignment is basically to store a list of the classes a student is taking and then allow you to add or remove from that list. So let's just look real quick here. What we have here, right, is this screen. This is all going to be like the system calls that are occurring, right? And this is I ran strace right from terminal again, right? This is another screenshot from Linux. I ran it from terminal. Basically, it's going to display on screen all the different commands that are run, right? All the different system commands that are run, right? So you can see here, initially there was a command basically to just run a file. I forget what break does. Well, it says break, but I'm not quite sure why you would need break here. Access, right? These are all basically going to be, like you see, so I do access, I do mmap, access, open, fstat, mmap. These are all going to be basically about loading libraries or or binaries, right, into memory, right? So obviously, right, there has to be some sort of setup operations going on to bring this executable into memory, to bring its libraries into memory, right? And you can see that here, right, basically, all these calls, right, into access, into mmap. Let's see, we'll get a few more of these. Let's see. So most of these here are basically continuing to load the file itself. And then to load the file itself, and then also mmap stands for memory map. Basically, that's like you're moving stuff to memory, right? I want to open a file, I want to access it, I want to move it to memory. Let's see. We don't need to look at that in too much detail there. Eventually you get to the actual program. And the actual program, if you run it, the first thing it does is it displays a screen to say, oh, welcome to this class scheduler, pick an option. And you can actually see the system calls happen there for that, right? So we in our program would write something like printf. Over here, that boils down to a system call called write, right? So you can see you do write. Again, write. All right. And so yeah, basically, right, we're seeing all those system calls. Now, if I want to, right, I could basically continue to interact with this program. And I would interact with it, and basically this strace would continue to tell me these are the system calls that it's using, right? And so this, right, is a program that obviously, right, requires system calls itself, because the only way to intercept a system call is probably with another system call, right? If I'm an outside program, how can I see what system calls the program is making? Well, I can't really do that on my own. I really need to go to the operating system and ask the operating system, oh, can you monitor what system calls are being made, right? And so that's what strace will have to do. All right. As a final note here, another example of a program or application that have to use a lot of system calls for information maintenance is profilers. Profilers, which hopefully you guys have seen in another class, but if you haven't, basically the idea there is a profiler is a tool that will watch your program and record how long each function or method inside of it takes to run, right? So you'll run your program, it'll write down how long everything takes, and it'll give you a report at the end. It'll say, okay, this function was called 20 times, and the average time it took to run was 0.1 seconds, right? This other function ran, and the average time it took to run was 2 seconds. And so this is nice because you can do hot spotting with it. You can say, okay, you know what? I want to look at that one function that was run 1,000 times and took a second on average because I have the feeling that's slowing down my program, right? So it can tell you basically where to optimize. All right. So yeah, so that's what I got for this video. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of a sense of some tools, right, to do some information maintenance techniques which have to be backed by some sort of system calls.